Live streaming internet schedule. The BBC World Service is an international broadcaster owned and operated by the BBC. It is the world's largest of any kind. It broadcasts radio news, speech and discussions in more than 40 languages to many parts of the world on analog and digital shortwave platforms, internet streaming, podcasting, satellite, DAB, FM and MW relays. In 2015, the World Service reached an average of 210 million people a week. In November 2016, the BBC announced that it would start broadcasting in additional languages including Amharic and Igbo, in its biggest expansion since the 1940s. The World Service is funded by the United Kingdom's television license fee, limited advertising and the profits of BBC Studios. The service was also guaranteed £289 million from the UK government. The World Service was funded for decades by grant in aid through the Foreign and Commonwealth Office of the British Government until 1 April 2014. BBC World Service English maintains 8 regional feeds with several programme variations, covering, respectively, East and South Africa, West and Central Africa, Europe and Middle East, Americas and Caribbean, East Asia, South Asia, Australasia, United Kingdom. There are also 2 separate online-only streams, with one being more news-oriented, known as News Internet. The service broadcasts 24 hours a day. The current controller of BBC World Service English is Mary Hockaday. The BBC World Service began on 19 December 1932 as the BBC Empire Service, broadcasting on shortwave and aimed principally at English speakers across the British Empire. In his first Christmas message, King George V characterized the service as intended for men and women so cut off by the snow, the desert, or the sea, that only voices out of the air can reach them. First hopes for the Empire Service were low. The Director General, Sir John Reith, said in the opening programme, "Don't expect too much in the early days. For some time we shall transmit comparatively simple programs, to give the best chance of intelligible reception and provide evidence as to the type of material most suitable for the service in each zone. The programs will neither be very interesting nor very good." This address was read out 5 times as the BBC broadcast it live to different parts of the world. On 3 January 1938, the first foreign language service was launched. In Arabic, programs in German started on 29 March 1938. And by the end of 1942, the BBC had started broadcasts in all major European languages. As a result, the Empire Service was renamed the BBC Overseas Service in November 1939, supplemented by the addition of a dedicated BBC European Service from 1941. Funding for these services, known administratively as the external services of the BBC, came not from the domestic license fee but from government grant in aid. The external services broadcast propaganda during the Second World War of 1939 to 1945. Its French service Radio Londres also sent coded messages to the French resistance. George Orwell broadcast many news bulletins on the Eastern Service during World War II. By the end of the 1940s, the number of broadcast languages had expanded and reception had improved. Following the opening of a relay in modern-day Malaysia and of the Limassol relay in Cyprus in 1957. On 1 May 1965, the service took its current name of BBC World Service. It expanded its reach with the opening of the Ascension Island relay in 1966, serving African audiences with a stronger signal and better reception, and with the later relay on the island of Masir in Oman. In August 1985, the service went off air for the first time when workers went on strike in protest at the British government's decision to ban a documentary featuring an interview with Martin McGuinness of Sinn Féin. Subsequently, financial pressures decreased the number and the types of services offered by the BBC. Audiences in countries with wide access to internet services have less need for terrestrial radio. Broadcasts in German ended in March 1999. After research showed that the majority of German listeners tuned into the English language service. Broadcasts in Dutch, Finnish, French, Hebrew, Italian, Japanese and Malay stopped for similar reasons. On the 25th of October 2005, the BBC announced that broadcasts in Bulgarian, Croatian, Czech, Greek, Hungarian, Kazakh, Polish, Slovak, Slovene and Thai would end by March 2006. To finance the launch in 2007 of television news services in Arabic and Persian. Additionally, Romanian broadcasts ceased on 1 August 2008. In 2011, a BBC Kyrgyz service newsreader and producer Arslan Koichev resigned from his BBC post after revelations and claims of involvement in the Kyrgyzstan Revolution of April 2010. He had been based in London, but often travelled to Kyrgyzstan and used BBC resources to agitate against President Kurmanbek Bakiyev, appearing on a Kyrgyz radio station under a pseudonym with a disguised voice. One of the leaders of the revolt,